She had a quality amateur career, and lo and behold, now she is making history as we welcome in Riyadh Al-Naimi, the first Saudi female to box on a card here in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia.
Ladies and gentlemen, we continue with great boxing action, this in the women's lightweight division. Our three judges assigned are Gary Kitanoski of the UK, Mike Hale of the UK, and Mary Jean Kubkuban of the Philippines. Our referee in charge will be David Irving of Ireland. Introducing to you first, fighting tonight out of the blue corner. She comes to the ring wearing red with white and weighed in at 125.7 pounds. Coming to us from Accra, Ghana, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Perpetual Okaija. And her opponent across the ring fighting tonight out of the red corner. She comes to the ring wearing black with green and white. Her official weight, 131.9 pounds. Hailing from Khobar, Saudi Arabia, ladies and gentlemen, introducing Riyadh Al-Naimi.
Let me get this in real quick, Ray. I'm torn right now.
Why so?
Do you root for the story or do you root for the name? Perpetual. I love that name.
Well, I think from a historical significance, we'll wait for the referee to give instructions.
Every command, okay, protect yourselves at all time, okay? And touch gloves. God bless. Okay.
Well, what you are watching right now is history here in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. There is Perpetual Okaija and Riyadh Al-Naimi, the first Saudi female fighter to box on a Saudi card. Sean, we have officially made history with Riyadh Al-Naimi.
Love it. Let's check her out. Let's check them both out.
Well, we mentioned the amateur accomplishments that Al-Naimi has been able to put on her trophy case. We'll see what she can do here tonight on a card of this magnitude. Big right hand that backed up Okaija.
Wow.
Well, so much for a feeling out process.
I was gonna say, so here's the thing. You got Al-Naimi who wants to fight, wants to come straight forward. Okaija, she needs some room. She needs some space. And I don't think Al-Naimi's gonna give that to her.
I don't think that Okaija was ready for Al-Naimi to come at her with as much ferocity as she had, but my goodness, again, the crowd and the moment is obviously putting adrenaline into the veins of these fighters.
Listen, we'll see what happens. Look at Okaija right now. She's a little uncomfortable.
Big right hand that backed up Okaija. Look at Al-Naimi go. She is hammering away upon Perpetual Okaija.
You can see that Okaija wants to get out of there. Al-Naimi's not going to let her just walk away from this. Look at her. She's uncomfortable right now.
Well, she almost turned her back, and Al-Naimi swarms her and continues to hammer away.
Okaija, you have to use your jab. Use your jab, use it fast, and try to use those feet. Remember, we got an 18-foot ring here. Not much room to move.
Not one bit. Now, Sean.
And you need that. Apparently, you need that against Okaija.
I'm sure. I mean, she is really coming out, but it is calculated aggression that we are witnessing by Al-Naimi.
Yeah, sure. It is calculated aggression. It is mean aggression, and it is, I'm not going to stop.
So it's interesting. We'll talk about it in the second round, but she reminds me of somebody that I know, and we'll get to that in round number 2.
Uh-oh.
And that is the end of the first round. Well, coming up later tonight on pay-per-view, someone that the fans here in Saudi Arabia are very high on, Ziad Al-Mayoufi's undefeated 1-0, representing the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. His opponent tonight, the Ecuadorian Ronald Martinez, and talk about potential superstar power. That is what I believe we could have in store with Ziad Al-Mayoufi.
Absolutely. Look at that handsome young guy, nice smile, not afraid to smile, not afraid to show his personality, and then he gets in the ring and he backs it up.
Well, he got pretty mean mean. Both guys got pretty mean at the weigh-in yesterday. A little pushing. They both were in each other's faces. But Ziad Al-Mayouf taking in this entire experience.
You see Buddy McGirt behind him. I saw Buddy earlier today. I told him, I said, hey, you got a special kid with you. I'm happy to see you working with him. And Buddy said, yeah, he's going to do some great things.
Ziad Al-Mayouf said that if you don't know how to handle pressure, then you're not cut out for prize fighting. And he has been handling the pressure so far all week long.
Absolutely.
Now, what will happen in a few hours from now as we begin the second round, as we had history made with Riyadh Al-Naimi, the first female-born Saudi fighter to compete on a Saudi boxing card, and right away, Al-Naimi goes right after her adversary yet again, Okaija.
I got to be honest with you, Ray. I didn't think we would see a second round. Here we are, and we also see that Okaija's trying to throw some more punches and fight back now.
Well, as I pointed out, who Al-Naimi reminds me of is, I don't know, somewhat of your style. You love to be aggressive, but you do it in a calculated form off the jab, and that's what we're seeing out of Riyadh Al-Naimi.
So let me tell you what we're looking at, because I know that I feel the same way. I'm looking at myself. She's going to force, Al-Naimi is going to force Okaija to walk into something, and this could be an early night for Al-Naimi.
With Al-Naimi, I mean, the kind of, she's sitting down in her punches, she's using the jab, she's got a nice tight guard. It's not like she's just throwing a lot of punches and leaving herself open to be countered.
Absolutely, no, I am impressed with what Al-Naimi came to the ring with tonight. I would love to see her move in position, but right there, look at that. You don't need to move in position. I got you. You can't go anywhere.
Well, we're starting big, beautiful right hook by Al-Naimi backing up Okaija. And again, Al-Naimi continues to apply the pressure.
Sure, and then again, let's talk about the Ghanaian here. I didn't think we'd see a second round, but I forgot there's a Ghanaian in the ring.
Very true.
They don't quit, you know, so even though right now it does look like Okaija is outmatched, she's not willing to just lay down and give this fight to Al-Naimi.
A big right hand. Look at this action by Al-Naimi as referee in charge, David Irving, watching the action. And when have you ever seen, unless they are being hurt, a Ghanaian go backwards?
It's not common. It's not common in both these matches. This one and the previous, we have two special individuals standing across from the Ghanaians.
Riyadh Al-Naimi hammering away upon Perpetual Okaija. Round 2 in the books.
Look at this right here. There's the hook, the punches that Okaija's always going to walk into, punching around the gloves. That's impressive right there for Al-Naimi, to know the punch around the gloves, a punch around the guards. Look at that right there. And what Okaija has to do right there is get low, get underneath those punches. Not much defense coming from Okaija, which is why the fight's not going her way.
With all the pressure on Riyadh Al-Naimi, she is acting like it's just another day at the office.
Yeah, she's very calm. She's breathing. She's breathing like it's nothing, and she's just taking the fight to Okaija.
A beautiful evening here in Daraya with Riyadh Al-Naimi and Perpetual Okaija matching up the final round between these two combatants. And right away, Al-Naimi looks like she's getting ready for a track meet. She can't wait to go right after Okaija, as she has in the first two stanzas.
I tell you what, man, that is a warrior right there. Al-Naimi. All right, here, let's be honest. Debut. We know that she has some amateur background, but she didn't start fighting until she was 23. But what I'm looking at right now is someone who's willing to do whatever it takes, not only to win, but to survive and live in this sport for quite some time.
And you could not tell me, based on her style, that Al-Naimi has just started boxing at age 23. She looks like she had a deep and extensive background.
Hey, well, you know what? Here's the thing. I think Al-Naimi hasn't had enough experience to know that, hey, it's okay to take a step back, you know? She's still in go, go, go mode. Once you get some experience, you realize, yeah, I don't always have to go forward and beat up on somebody. I can let them come at me sometimes and take a rest. Al-Naimi doesn't want any rest.
And can you imagine the emotions that Al-Naimi has with Prince Khalid in the front row, who has really been such a driving force behind Skills Challenge promotion?
Yeah, you know, I tell you, right now, it's not happening, but it's gonna set in. If she gets a knockout, when this fight ends, when the bell rings, that's when it'll set in.
I think right now, oh, there's a knockdown. So says referee in charge, David Irving.
She turned her back and was hit on the ropes while she had her back turned, which is why she's receiving that 8 count right there.
All right, so now we have a knockdown being called, and Al-Naimi, we'll see if she can go out and get a stoppage.
I'm going to say this to the producers. I'm sure they won't, but don't miss this moment when the bell rings. It's a moment that we should all treasure.
Oh, we got a great crew from top to bottom, but right now Riyadh Al-Naimi, who has made history being the first Saudi making noise. And it's a triumphant one. The victory for Riyadh Al-Naimi as she stops the Ghanaian Perpetual Okaija.
Beautiful, beautiful. Good decision by the ref. No, she wasn't going to win, hadn't won any rounds, but I think she deserved to finish the fight.
Well, it's a beautiful night here in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, but it was evident that Al-Naimi turned up the heat in that third round.
She turned up the heat every round. I don't think she ever even turned it up. I think it was just high to begin with, you know? Al-Naimi is especially to see her do this right here. I'm looking forward to see what she has next for her in the future.
What I loved is that she was clearly ahead, but she came out and I thought really stepped on the gas a little bit more to say, you know what, no, I want to get the finish and the stoppage. And lo and behold, if you put your mind to it, you can achieve it.
Listen, Ray, we're not here to talk about me, but that's not the mindset. You know, you're talking about how she reminded you of me. Her mindset is, I'm going to go until the last bell, and she got the victory. She did a fantastic job.
And I thought David Irving did a fantastic job to wave off the fight. And now to make it all official, once again, here's the ring announcer, Thomas Schreiber.
Ladies and gentlemen, here is the official time. 1 minute 47 seconds of round number 3. Our referee, David Irving, stops the contest. Therefore, your winner by way of technical knockout, Riyadh Al-Naimi.
Al-Naimi with the victory tonight, making history, the first Saudi-born female to fight here, and she gets it done by stoppage tonight, guys. What do you think about the decision?
I thought it was a good decision by the referee. I thought the corner could have pulled the Qaeda at the end of the second round because she was throwing out distress flares from quite early, to be honest. She was under the cosh from early on in the fight, but fair play to her. She stuck it out, and it would have been nice for her to hear the final bell, but she was just under the gun, Larry, right from the beginning, because Riyadh Al-Naimi is aggressive, she's strong. She hasn't had that many amateur fights, just 6, and I think she's suited to pro boxing because of the way she goes about it.
Well, Al-Naimi, what she proved was, I'm coming forward, I don't care what's happening, I'm active this whole way. She showed a certain level of aggression to let the world know, and also to let the competitor know that she's here to win this fight at home on the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia's ground. So when it comes down to female boxing in the Kingdom of Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, female boxing is here to stay.
And it's impressive to me, too, that this is the second time in the 3 of the fight cards that they have had here in Saudi Arabia that they have featured a women's bout. That goes to show how progressive they want to be here as well, not just with boxing, but making sure that the female presence is involved as well, much like they do in the UK in a very, very big way.
Yeah, absolutely. It was Ramla Ali boxed in Jeddah last August, and I know that she treated that as the honour and privilege that it was. And this was a big night. You know, we were here for a bit of history tonight, and it's always nice to be at ringside for that. She had her sister in the corner. Outstanding choice of walk-on music. Inni Kamosi, Here Comes the Hot Stepper, took me back to the days of Prince Nassim Hamed. You know, I love stuff like that. There's a bit of showbiz about it too.
The entertainment is a big part of this game for them, but what we have to be able to realize is women boxing at this moment is at an all-time high. You got Clarissa Shields showing that she's the dominant fighter at her weight. She wants to fight anyone. And then we have, you know, Serena. You got Serena everywhere fighting everybody that's able to be fought. So as long as they continue to endorse her and give her an opportunity, I can promise you we'll see her for a long time coming.
I couldn't agree with you more. It sounds like they're really behind her, and as they are women's boxing here in Saudi Arabia as well. Now, the co-main event tonight is a fight that could headline on its own anywhere else around the world. Badu Jack taking on Ilunga Makabu is looking to become a 3-weight world champion, but he has to take the belt from the champ. But the champ says himself he is coming for blood here in Saudi Arabia.
Ilunga Makabu, the current WBC champion, will take on the challenger, Badu Jack.
I'm 100% sure I'll return back home with my title.
I'm going to put on a show for Derry, because this is for the world title. This one is the one.
I expect a good explosion of boxing.
Makabu got a lot of heart, I got a lot of heart. Nobody's going to want to lay down. It's going to be a tough fight, but I'm going to come out on top.
When the fight ends, my hand will be up.
Makabu versus Jack for the WBC Cruiserweight title is the co-main event tonight and will be on just before Jake Paul and Tommy Fury. Another great fight to look forward to. Ray and Sean, are you excited about that one?
You better believe it, Christina, because these two guys are going to go at it, as you eloquently talked about. That fight could main event anywhere in the world. The champion, Ilunga Makabu, coming in. He's been mean all week, Sean.
He's been mean all week. I'm not used to that, Makabu. So I'm excited to see what he's going to bring to the ring. I think he's going to go right at Badu Jack. Could be a bad decision by him, because Badu Jack has packing power in both hands, can box. It's going to make the most of this 18-foot ring. So we got a great one ahead of us in the co-main.
Makabu has won 10 straight since losing at the hands of Tony Bellew years ago, as he will be making his 3rd title defense here tonight in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. And you can look at his demeanor. He's all business heading into his 3rd championship defense.
Ever since he's fought Tony Bellew, he has grown up. That is a grown man now, and he's ready to handle grown man business, which is what he's got ahead of him tonight.
But he will have his hands full tonight against Badu Jack the Ripper, who looks to become a 3-division world champion. But now we get ready for something that the fans love to see, the always exciting heavyweight division.
Ew.
As we prepare for our next matchup between Salman Hamada and Philip Sampson here in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Later tonight, it'll be Jake Paul and Tommy Fury on pay-per-view. But now it's the heavyweights. Here is Thomas Schreiber.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, let's first welcome to the ring, fighting tonight out of the blue corner, Philip Sampson.
So Philip Sampson from India coming in, and he's looking to play spoilers. So far, in our first 2 fights, you had Ziad Madrashi and Ragad Al-Naimi victorious here from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Philip Sampson is looking to change those fortunes for himself here tonight against Salman Hamada.
Much more possible in this matchup. I think you got 2 guys right here that have more experience than the 2 previous matches that we saw. So much more competitive fight ahead of us.
Well, Philip Sampson coming in from India, knowing that obviously he will not get a favorable reception from the fans here in Dararia, but I don't think he cares too much.
I do not think he cares much either. I think that he is ready to handle the business, and he said he came here to take home a win.
Well, he's very loose and relaxed as we await his opponent.
And now let's welcome to the ring, fighting tonight out of the red corner, Salman Hamada.
Look look at the fans. They are just draped over. They want to just get and slap hands with the entertaining Salman Hamada. He started boxing at age 11. The reason why he got into boxing is he saw it advertised at the gym. 2 weeks later, he was having skills contests. My goodness, an extensive amateur career. 80 fights, won 90% of them. A Saudi champion from light welterweight all the way up to light heavyweight.
Looking forward to this guy. I've seen him walking around the hotel. We've had a couple of moments to speak. Big guy, strong guy. He looks to be, and he's fit. He's in shape. Look at him. It's gonna be a good fight.
He's a specimen, I gotta tell you. I mean, I think he has that new age heavyweight frame that we are seeing within the sport of boxing.
Agreed. Primarily, I kept looking at him and trying to get close to him to figure out what weight are you? You know. So he's a thinner, longer heavyweight, like you just said. A lot of guys are becoming.
Well, let's see what is in store. Salman Hamada and Philip Sampson, the heavyweights front and center here in Daraiya. As we get set for that, we are moments away from our matchup. And now let's set it up to ring announcer. Here is Thomas Schreiber.
Ladies and gentlemen, we continue in the light heavyweight division. Our 3 judges assigned are Gary Kitanaski of the UK, Mike Hale of the UK, and Mary Jean Kupkuban of the Philippines. Our referee in charge, third man in the ring, will be David Irving of Ireland. Introducing to you first, fighting tonight out of the blue corner. He comes to the ring dressed in black with red and weighed in at 167.6 pounds. Hailing from Bangalore, India, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Philip Sampson. And his opponent across the ring, fighting tonight out of the red corner. He comes to the ring wearing multicolored trunks and weighed in at 176.2 pounds. Hailing from Qatif, Saudi Arabia, ladies and gentlemen, here is Salman Hamada.
Okay, gentlemen, keep it clean at all times, okay? Protect yourselves at all times and obey my commands. Okay, Salman? Philip, first gloves. Good luck.
David Irving, our referee in charge. Salman Hamada matching up against Philip Sampson. Our third fight of the evening here in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. And look at that, very stoic indeed is Salman Hamada. His opponent, Philip Sampson, our referee in charge, David Irving. Don't forget, join us on pay-per-view wherever you are around the world. Less than an hour away, and then we begin our main card, highlighted by Jake Paul and Tommy Fury.
Oh, yeah.
Good right hand already, an echoing right hand there by Hamada.
But see, this right here, we got one guy using the ring, trying to keep Sampson on the outside. Excuse me, trying to keep Hamada on the outside. And right there, long, rangy shots from Hamada.
Well, you saw Hamada. He has a very long reach, a long jab, but boy, does he pack a wallop, as we have seen in the first few rounds, or the few seconds of the round.
Sure, and then, you know, just kind of going back to the thing of experience, you see the experience of both of these guys. Neither guy's rushing in, neither guy's really rushing the tempo, just trying to set up and look and create something, both of these guys.
Big right hand, oh my goodness! Down goes Sampson!
Yeah, that's what you call precision.
Hamada got proper leverage behind that, and that is it. It is over.
Oh, wow.
In quick fashion, Salman Hamada, before the hometown faithful here in Saudi Arabia, ends the night of Philip Sampson. That was leverage, precision, and power.
I mean, the length, the reach on that bad boy. That was like a broomstick.
Oh my.
And you know, a big long broomstick, what it can do to you. Or did you get whippings at home? I don't know.
No, I never, that didn't happen at my house. But you know what, look at that. I mean, he is a very strong individual.
Absolutely.
Salman Hamada, much to the delight of the fans here, in Daraya, as he will no doubt make them smile. Applause indeed. And he has a bright future, does Salman Hamada.
Big stoppage there in his debut. Again, a long, heavy, straight right hand with great precision on it. That was, good 20 seconds, 30 seconds. Look at this right here. And it was all set up by that straight jab, and then right there, the hook and the straight right hand. I mean, the leverage on that bad boy. I know we'll get another look at it right here. Look at this. The hook, come around the glove. Let me tap you back into that right hand, and then it's just right there, straight line.
And then he threw an uppercut to boot. Boom! Look at that. Speaking of uppercuts, guess who's going to be in the house? We've seen him all week long.
Who?
Iron Mike Tyson will be here in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia.
Why am I acting surprised like I didn't know that?
Yeah, I mean, I think you guys have been hanging out a little bit.
Yeah, we've been hanging out. And apparently this guy has had a conversation or two with Mike. A nice right hand again right here. The hook to send you back into the right hand. Straight right hand on the chin. And then here comes the Iron Mike uppercut. Boom.
Ooh, boy. That is a jaw rattler.
Well, and then real quick, because he fell into the ropes after a shot, that's why that's ruled a knockdown.
Victory for Salman Hamada. To make it all official, here is Thomas Schreiber.
Ladies and gentlemen, here is the official time. 1 minute, 9 seconds of round number 1. Our referee, David Irving, stops the contest. Therefore, your winner by way of technical knockout, Salman Hamada.
Salman Hamada gets the victory tonight. Didn't get to see too much of him in the ring, being that it was stopped rather quickly, but we did see a few nice punches in his arsenal. Your thought on the finish, Andy?
The finish was great. I mean, when he set up, I thought he might be the most technically correct of the three because he boxed at the World Championships in Russia in 2019. He's done quite a lot as an amateur. And when I saw him set up, Larry, he's in and out with the feet, high guards, waving that lead left hand around. I thought we were in for a bit of a fencing contest maybe, but we weren't.
Well, you know, I was super excited for a number of reasons. I'm going to tell you, this has to be the most exciting fight I've seen. I'm looking forward to seeing the great things he can do in the future. But when he came out, I thought he was going to use his range, box a little bit, but he came up, sat on his punches, and delivered that right hand, and man, did he get the job done. So I'm looking forward to seeing him in future fights.
And showed a bit of that killer instinct with that uppercut to finish the job as well. So well done for the local Saudi fighter. They are 3-0 so far tonight in our first 3 fights. Now, beyond the 2 co-main events tonight, there is one man who has been set, some to believe, that would set this arena on fire. Zayed Al-Mayouf only has 1 fight on his record. It was last year on the undercard of Joshua Usyk here in Saudi Arabia. He won that night, he captured the hearts of a nation, and now he's pretty much become the great hope of Saudi Arabian boxing, and he seems to be thriving quite well under the pressure.
This performance is for my people here in Saudi. I'm back home, and it's a beautiful place, and they deserve a beautiful knockout, and that's what's coming. When I used to go to sleep as a kid and used to have dreams of having a reception like this, we talk about the American fighters, we talk about the European fighters, and now it's time to talk about the Saudi Arabian fighters. My prediction is it's going to be over before you could say my name. Zizo.
And we are back here in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. There you saw a preview on what you can expect for Ziyad Al-Mayouf. And Sean, there are people that were born to be prize fighters. You were certainly one of them, but also as we look at Ziyad Al-Mayouf, he's only 1-0, but he knows that he has the pressure, the hopes and dreams, the support of not just the country of Saudi Arabia, but an entire region here in the Middle East.
Impressive kid. He's traveled. He's gotten the experience that's needed before you turn professional. Upon turning professional right here, he dazzled the crowd. Not only that, he can talk, looks good, he plays the part, and he's a hero, you know. So I think that the anticipation on him getting in the ring tonight is well worth it.
What I found to be interesting is that he's so in sync with his trainer, Buddy McGirt. Before he got to Buddy, he spent time training at the Wildcard Boxing Gym because what he knew of boxing was that of the great Manny Pacquiao, and he knew that Freddie Roach trained Manny Pacquiao. Then he got to Wildcard, found out that, hey, they said, listen, go study the jab of Buddy McGirt. That's how he found Buddy McGirt to be his trainer.
It's the greatest story that you can have right now in the sport of boxing. You got a young guy who loves the sport, wants to get better, has quickly just kind of gotten better and improved overnight, it would seem. He's got a great guy behind him, and Buddy McGirt, who's been through it all, both as a professional himself and then outside of the ring as a coach. I mean, I think that those two are a match made in heaven, and I can't wait to see what's next for Zizo.
He has the style outside the ring, inside the ring, and he gives me one of the best quotes that I've ever heard. He said, I am God-gifted and heavy-fisted, and my goodness, was he heavy-fisted in his last outing in Jeddah.
Heavy-fisted. I don't think he overestimates himself. I think he is real. I think that he is entertaining, and I think that he's someone that you all should be looking forward to seeing fight tonight.
And this is when he hammered away upon Alatorre, just really going ahead and pounding away on him. You saw the leverage behind Zizo, and down went Alatorre.
Yeah, he's got great footwork. He's quick with his feet, quick with his hands. He's very intuitive in the ring, and that's where that right hand was able to land because he went body, and then back to the head, and right there with two more at the head.
Well, and what I love is that he doesn't let guys off the hook. He strings together combinations, and he really finds a way to get you out of there.
He finds a way to get you out of there. Again, it's only the first fight, so he found a way to get him out of there. But it shows you that he and Buddy have been working. They know what they're doing in the ring, and Zizo's going to go in there and he's going to entertain.
Ziad Al-Mayouf for part of our pay-per-view portion. We send it now back to Christina Poncher.
Andy and I too are excited to see Zizo later on tonight, but for now we turn our attention to the final fight on our prelims card. This one should heat things up a bit as well. Adam Saleh has built quite a rivalry with Stuart Kellogg in the build-up to this one, Andy, and you know, we saw them go back and forth a little bit. Your thoughts on this super lightweight contest coming up?
So these two guys both box on the influencer circuit. He's 2-2, Saleh. Kellogg is 2-1. I've been to a couple of those Misfits nights in London, and they're kind of wild nights because you get a big crowd, everybody's really enthusiastic, but I generally leave the arena not much wiser about how good anyone is because the matching is decent, but you can't really get a gauge on their level. I would say that Saleh's probably the more experienced of the two. He's got Saddam Ali in his corner, which kind of tells you something in itself, but Kellogg, I don't know if you remember, but he was kind of mooching about whilst we were doing some fighter meetings the other day, and I think he was slightly offended that we didn't sit down with him and didn't talk to him. He's really up for it. Well,
I mean, these guys, even, let's take a look at the weigh-ins yesterday before we get to that. You can see how, you know, these guys love the cameras. He's up there with the sunglasses on the scale. And I think he did want to talk to us. He was like, what do you mean you don't want to have a fighter meeting with me? But that's what it's about, right? It's about promoting yourself. That's how they got here in the first place, right? Promoting yourself, building up your social media. There you can see the footage from the weigh-ins where they go head-to-head. You don't get paid if you don't get in the ring tonight. So smartly, someone stepped in there and broke them up. But, I mean, that's really what it's all about, right? Selling yourself, building yourself up has got you an opportunity like this.
Yeah, absolutely. And that definitely is something that professional boxing, that we cover week in, week out, can learn from the influencers, because these two, they're not really claiming to be proper boxers, if you like.
Correct,
they're not really claiming that, but they're amazing at building their profile. They're amazing at selling themselves, and there's so much to be said for that. I get the impression that Saleh, who we're looking at here, just maybe takes the whole thing a little bit more seriously. Right on cue, Stuart Kellogg, who calls himself Evil Hero, by the way, which is a bit of an oxymoron, but never mind. He's wearing sunglasses, working the pads back there with Coach Stappen, Andrew Stappen, who I've caught doing a bit of training with Radio Raheem. Maybe he fancies an outing on the influencer circuit. He'd qualify, wouldn't he?
I think if our partner, Coach Larry Wade, could wear his sunglasses while he's up here at the desk, he would put him on too much like him. But nonetheless, let's send it into the ring now to get our next bout on with our ring announcer, Thomas Schreiber.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, let's first welcome to the ring, fighting tonight out of the blue corner, known as the evil hero, Stuart Kellogg.
So here is Stuart Kellogg, known as Evil Hero. And let's just say that the weigh-in got rather intense between Stuart Kellogg and Adam Saleh yesterday.
I'm still stuck on Stuart Kellogg having the nickname Evil. What Evil Hero? Yeah, it's Stuart. What are you talking about, Stuart?
I mean, maybe that is his moniker that sort of gets him ready for battle, much like I'm going to go back a little bit. Angel Man Freddy, back when he fought in the mid-90s, he was known as El Diablo.
Yeah.
Maybe that's something that psychs him up and prepares him to get inside the ring.
All right, Ray, way to tame me.
Okay, just talking hypothetically, but Stuart Kellogg, known as the Evil Hero, will evil triumph over apparently good in Adam Saleh? We're about to find out.
And now let's welcome to the ring, fighting tonight out of the red corner, Adam Saleh.
So here is 29-year-old Adam Saleh. He's trained under the guidance of former world champion Saddam Ali. He had a draw in his last outing back on September 10th against Landon McBroom, but Adam Saleh feels that a victory is his destiny here tonight in Saudi Arabia.
It's hard to bet against New York. You know, he's coming from New York. He's got Saddam Ali in his corner, and I know he's ready to right that wrong that he's got on his record, that one behind the O and the other O.
And he does have a draw on his dossier, Coach Wade, but it was because he was not fighting in his proper weight class.
Well, that's what I talked to him about earlier, and they gave me the insight that he fought 15 to 20 pounds over his weight, and now he feels comfortable. He prepared for this fight. Him and his coach believe this is a great opportunity for him to show up and show out.
Well, Adam Saleh said that it means so much for him to be fighting here in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and Daraiya, because he is going to put on a show for all the fans. And lo and behold, I love his ring attire. You know that he's going to come. He has a very quality, terrific technical skills. And will he be able to impose his will upon Stuart Kellogg? And now, once again, here is Thomas Schreiber.
Ladies and gentlemen, we continue with more great boxing action. This bout scheduled for 4 rounds in the super lightweight division. Our 3 judges assigned will be Gary Kitanoski of the UK, Mike Hale of the UK, and Omar Mintun of Mexico. Our referee in charge is Daniel Vandaville. Introducing to you first, fighting tonight out of the blue corner, he comes to the ring wearing black with gold and weighed in at 140.9 pounds. Coming to us from Los Angeles, California, USA. Tonight, he is making his professional boxing debut. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing the evil hero, Stuart Kellogg.
That's right.
And his opponent across the ring, fighting tonight out of the red corner. He comes to the ring dressed in black with gold and weighed in officially at 139.6 pounds. Hailing from Brooklyn, New York, USA. He has a professional record consisting of no wins, no defeats, and 1 draw. Ladies and gentlemen, he is a popular influencer turned boxer. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Adam Saleh.
I want a clean fight. Obey my commands at all time and protect yourself at all time. My first warning is no rabbit punches, okay? No rabbit punches. Okay, no kidney punches, no lower than this.
All right, so it is Adam Saleh matching up against Stuart Evil Hero Kellogg. Adam Saleh introduced as a social media superstar from the East Coast, but let's make no mistake about it, he can fight.
Yeah, he can fight. Yeah, he can fight. He's a tough kid. And look at him, he's ready to go.
Adam Saleh ready to charge the ring. And also, when you have Saddam Ali training you, the former world champion, a guy who beat the legendary, the Hall of Famer, Miguel Cotto, you know that Saddam is not going to put his name behind somebody that doesn't use and train properly and is ready for combat.
Absolutely, yeah. You talk about this guy being a social media guy. Yeah, it's that, which probably has some sort of attraction, but Saddam knows what he's looking at. He knows that this kid's athletic, and you can see it right here. He's moving his feet, and he's taking his time with this fight.
I think it's fair to say also, Coach Way, that Stuart Kellogg is a bit unorthodox.
Absolutely. Now, as you can tell, he's taking his time. He's very patient. He has a very good stance to be able to deliver power at any time. He's defensive, even at the process of being offensive. So I'm excited to see what he's going to do.
Good right hand there by Adam Saleh, backing up none other than Stuart Kellogg. Good double jab there. I like the placement of the jab and some body work with an overhand right by Saleh.
Good body work right there by Saleh.
Adam Saleh settling in, but he is setting a pace that it's very interesting to see if Kellogg can keep up with it.
A nice little uppercut that just missed by Kellogg right there. So interesting to see right there. He just kind of mixed up his punch selection right there.
Adam Saleh looks to be very relaxed.
Absolutely.
As he battles Stuart Kellogg, round one. This one scheduled for 4. Big right hand. Adam Saleh, that right hand seems to be an issue by Stuart Kellogg as he was sort of shaking it, might have hurt himself.
Second time I've seen him shake the glove now, so he's definitely hurt. That hand is hurt. We'll see what he does to weather this.
We'll see if Saleh is swarming him, and that's exactly what he's doing. Kellogg tying up with Adam Saleh.
Saleh definitely throwing punches with ill intentions. He's really trying to hurt this guy and get him out of here.
Good right hand to the body. As you saw Kellogg grimacing from the body shot and also shaking out that right hand, clear indication that he might have some issues with it, time being called.
Right here, I like what the refs did. I could see that he was concerned. I could see that he was paying attention, and that's what you want. Now I just need the ref to take him to the right corner.
Daniel Vandelay, they are checking the right hand of Stuart Kellogg. And action will continue, so Evil Hero will continue his matchup against Adam Saleh. Look at that. So much for the feeling out process in the opening round.
Listen, we are definitely going to get some exchanges right here, and a lot like the main event. Who's going to get who first?
A jab backing up Stuart Kellogg. Adam Saleh came in very good physical shape. This is his second pro fight, looking for victory number 1. His first fight a draw in September against Landon McBroom.
You know, as a fighter, you can sense, you can tell when the opposite fighter is disinterested in the fight. I can see that the Evil Hero right now, he's disinterested. He doesn't want the work that's about to come to him. You see him turning his head. It's only a matter of time before this fight is over.
Adam Saleh sitting down in his punches, a right hand followed by a left hook. Stuart Kellogg in some trouble as we head to the end of the first round. Well, we mentioned that the stars will be out here in Daraiya in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia as the first round draws to a close. We mentioned that Deontay Wilder will be making an appearance as Stuart Kellogg being looked at by the physicians. And I think his corner is waving it off. They have got the attention of the referee. And this one is over. So Adam Saleh gets a victory. Saleh looks to be, he's excited, he's happy, but it's a little bit of a premature. He's like, well, you know, I wanted to compete more and put on the show.
Yeah, he definitely wanted to put on the show. I think the fans deserved more. Not really sure exactly what happened with Stuart Kellogg. Just looked like he hurt his hand. and obviously he looks disappointed as well. It's the shoulder. Maybe is it the shoulder or the hand?
Well, even though Saleh is disappointed, I think it was only a foregone conclusion before he was going to end the fight. He was mixing up his attack.
Absolutely. You could tell that halfway through he was like, I'm hurting. I don't want any more of these problems. And I can promise you, Adam Saleh was like, I want to be able to prove to the world I still have it. That last fight didn't mean a lot, and I want to prove it tonight. So he did a great job in that one round. I just wish we could have saw more. Looks like right here, I don't know, I'm seeing two things. I'm seeing number one, looks like he could have hurt his shoulder, then he went for his elbow right there. I don't know, this is an interesting one right here. But this is what I do know, keep these guys apart, all right? A lot of energy and testosterone built up in the build-up for this fight right here. They didn't get it out, okay? So you cannot afford for these guys to go to the back room together and see one another. Even though Salah won the fight, even though he's got his hands raised and things like that, he definitely has a sour taste in his mouth because he didn't get it all out. So keep these guys distance.
I know that Saleh's probably of the mindset, and just by his demeanor, almost like it was a bittersweet victory, but at the end of the day, a win's a win. No matter how you get it, it's important just to be able to get in the win column. Absolutely. You don't come this far to not win. So to have the opportunity to win, even though it may have been stopped a little prematurely, you have to go away happy with that. I tell you what, I've been wrong all night, man. Look at Salah. He looking out for him. And I was wrong about Alamia earlier. Yes. I thought she was going to break down and cry. She's too tough for that. I've been wrong twice tonight, but it was the shoulder, so I did get that right. You know who's not wrong? A ring announcer, Thomas Triber.
Ladies and gentlemen, after one completed round of boxing, the blue corner advises our referee in charge, Daniel Van de Ville, to stop the contest due to an injured right arm. Therefore, your winner by way of technical knockout, Adam Saleh.
So he finally gets his first professional victory. Adam Saleh, 1 win, no losses, 1 draw. Saleh, his first win as a pro. Sean, what does that first W as a pro mean to you?
Well, this W right here, what it means for Saleh is he needs to get back in the ring and to get those shorts wet, get some sweat up in them, get some blood on them, or something like that. He looked good. He looked the part tonight, and his opponent just couldn't stand up with that shoulder, being injured.
Well, I know that Adam Saleh is enjoying the victory, and he is there taking photos with his entire team. Saddam Ali, his trainer, he's standing by with Radio Rahim.
Now, I saw a bit of disappointment in your face when this fight was called off. You know you won, right?
I know, man. I was just getting started. I didn't want to 10 like this. He knew what was going to happen. He was going to get slumped, but it's all good. Respect at the end of the day. I want to give a huge thank you to Saudi Arabia. Saudi, thank you guys so much. A huge shout out to the Prince Khalid. Prince Khalid, I love you so much. Thank you for making this happen. This is a dream come true. Huge shout out to my mom, my team, Saddam Ali, Khalid, Slim, Hamza Al, and a huge shout out to Uncle Mahmoud. I love you guys. Family, I love you guys.
We saw you throw your punches with some serious intent. I know you're in front of your hometown crowd. This is the first win here in Saudi Arabia for you. Is that what was that extra mustard on the punches tonight?
I feel at home when I'm at Saudi Arabia, baby. Saudi, let's go! I'm at home, baby. I'm at home. Give me another fight, man. I want to show you guys what else I can do. I only get better after round 1.
Radio Rahim with Adam Saleh.
Thank you, brother. Yeah. You're tall, man.
Yeah.
Thank you, man.
Congratulations.
Well done, Rahim and Andy Saleh. I mean, he finally cracked a smile there. I know it didn't go the way that he wanted in terms of getting some work in, getting some rounds in, right? That's the name of the game when you're first starting out, but nonetheless, he gets the win.
Yeah, I can understand the frustration as well because there's been some chat between the two in the build-up, and I think he fancied getting him out there for at least one more so he could make him suffer, to be honest, but it didn't happen that way. You could see that there was some kind of problem with the shoulder or the elbow or the hand, the right side, and it happened quite early. I don't know if he carried it into the fight or whether it happened in those very early stages, but the trainer had a look at him. The fighter didn't really want to continue. They brought the referee over, told him that, and then he called the fight off. I'm always reluctant to suggest that a fighter has kind of pulled up the drawbridge a bit, but I think he might have done there. I think he might have realised that of the two, he's poked the bear a bit there because Saleh's just better than him. As I say, it's I'm not getting through those ropes, but I think there was an element of that.
Well, and you have to understand too, I mean, influencer boxing or not, like you still got to go in there and you're still taking punches and you still are putting it on the line. We'll see if we see Kellogg back in the squared circle again after this, perhaps after he tends to that injury. But nonetheless, you can think Adam Slay, especially with Saddam Ali in his corner, has to be taking it a bit more seriously. So maybe more of him to come on a card here in Saudi, perhaps.
Yeah, I thought he looked pretty good. You look at the way he was set up. He's obviously drilling hard in the gym. He's got somebody coaching him who was, as Sean said and Ray, he's not going to waste his time with somebody who isn't going to show up. That's the first thing that's required, isn't it? You've been to hundreds of gyms and you've got to show up and work hard every time you go, or trainers just won't waste their time on you because that's what they'll feel it is. So he clearly does that. And if you're prepared to put that time in the basics, then you can get to a decent level, whether you've got all that much ability or not really. That's kind of level one. And then from there, if you do have some talent, you can maybe take it a little bit further. But, you know, it is difficult to know how good these guys are. And that fight is a perfect example of why it's hard, because he looked good, but the guy who was up against just didn't really want to know.
Right. Well, let's talk about some of the earlier fights, as that's kind of the end of our preliminary section here of the fight card, and give you a recap with some highlights. Early on, we saw Zaid Mashrashi defeat Philip Kwanzaa. Let's go through the card. What did you like from him?
I thought he was good. I thought he was aggressive. I thought he really came to fight and really came to entertain as well, as did Ragad Al-Naimi. She was exactly the same. She got onto the front foot. She dug those punches into the body and the head. And then Hamada at the end there, the way he was set up, I thought that he would keep it at range and pop that jab, but he looked to move in with that right hand every single time he could. And that's a good stoppage from the referee, because he's pinned him there with a long right hand, carried that power right to the end of the punch, and then the uppercut. And then what we've just seen here from Adam Saleh and Stuart Kellogg. And I understand the frustration from Saleh, I do, because if they could find someone else for him to fight tonight in half an hour, he'd definitely do it.
He's come a long way, too, literally,
yeah, really
to get here. Your favorite fighter, your highlight of the preliminary bouts that we saw here tonight, Andy?
Well, we witnessed a bit of history, didn't we, with Ragad Al-Naimi, and that's always really, really nice. And I joked about the ring walk music, but I like stuff like that. You know, who would have thought that would have happened a few years ago, that song would fire up and you'd have a female fighter come into the ring, a Saudi-born female fighter come into the ring on a night like this, and then she really put in a performance too, because all three of them would really have felt the pressure, because it's a massive stage, this. It is unrecognisable to any stage that they've ever boxed on before, because they box in some amateur tournaments, but generally with the amateurs, even when it's a really high level, until the day of the finals, there's not really anyone there. So the standard is high, but as a spectacle, it's nothing like the same. So I think they all delivered good performances and should all be very, very happy with it.
They should. What a big stage for a lot of these young fighters. I mean, like you said, at this point in their careers, pro debuts or not, they're fighting on a pay-per-view undercard in front of a big audience here in Saudi. So well done on that recap. I'm really looking forward to us moving forward to our pay-per-view portion, which is now just moments away, and that too is loaded with great fights. Fighter Samreem is an exciting talent that you see here on the card. He's up tonight against a veteran, and this is truly a true test of his potential. Another fight I'm looking forward to, Kaysan and Jaharaf, they've guaranteed an early finish one way or another. That one is likely not going the distance. And then Zayed Al-Mayouf, the local hero, and the last time he put his man away in the first. So perhaps don't go anywhere when he steps in the ring. You may see some fireworks there against Ronald Martinez. And then, of course, our co-main event, Ilunga Makabu is defending his cruiserweight world title against the dangerous veteran Badou Jack. And then, of course, the main event, it's the problem child, Jake Paul, taking on Tommy TNT Fury from the famous Fury family, a fight that everybody is talking about. And the stars are in the building here in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. There is Mike Tyson. You've seen him in the videos on social media all week long. He has been talking to the media, talking to fans, talking to friends, and this guy has friends everywhere he goes. The Gypsy King, Tyson Fury, is also in the building, the WBC World Heavyweight Champion. Obviously here to support his brother, who will be stepping into the ring in our main event later on tonight. Andy, as we talked about, we showed the fans, everybody watching, the fights that we still have to come on our pay-per-view. Which are you most looking forward to?
I like the card as a whole, genuinely. I'm looking forward to seeing Ziyad because he's just got that infectious kind of enthusiasm about him. Badr Samreen, top of the shop, he's got a nice story behind him too. That fight between Musi Kaysen and Tariel Jafarov, anything can happen there. Absolutely anything can happen. One thing we do know, I would be amazed if they just fiddle about for 8 rounds, tippy-tap and touch gloves at the end and go back to the dressing room. Someone is going down in that fight. I think we know that. The cruiserweight fight is just a terrific fight between two really, truly world-level guys. And that top of the bill, it's been so much anticipated. We didn't think we were going to see it, and then eventually we've got it. And like you say, Iron Mike Tyson, that shirt, by the way, on Tyson Fury, I think really, you can only get away with...
You didn't pull that out of your closet,
oh my
Andy,
God, no.
Right? Not quite your style?
You can only, well, I mean, I think you can only really get away with that if you're WBC heavyweight champion of the world, because I'm not going to go over there and tell him that, you know, he looks like he's come in fancy dress.
It fits his personality.
I'm not going to ask him what he's come as, because I think that could be an error.
So pretty much every fight has something to offer coming up on this pay-per-view. So make sure you join us, make sure you buy the pay-per-view wherever you are. And thank you for your company, of course, on this preliminary show. And be sure to follow us on our pay-per-view, which is headlined, as Andy just mentioned, with an explosive fight between Jake Paul and Tommy Fury. We hope to see you there in just a few minutes' time. So bye for now.